Hello everybody, FAO Man here. This is gonna be way different here. As you guys seen in the live, I've had a couple comments, couple questions about the Wing Chun dummy that I had posted up in the back here. So Wing Chun is a martial arts, it's from China, and it is strictly based off of a certain range of fighting when it comes into closer contact, right? So you have the outside game here. So when you're outside, you're playing around, you're tagging, you're moving, using your boxing, all the different variations, right? There's a certain art that plays in this type of role, right? When you have a knife, there's a certain distance. You might step back even further, right? So there's certain ranges when it comes to different tools or arts that you use, and you have to be able to move in a way to where it's adaptable, because you don't want to be here punching, hitting, doing your thing, and then next thing you know, boom, go in for a double leg. There's no connectivity, there's no flow for that. And I've seen a lot of UFC guys do that type of stuff. It's archaic. It's very archaic. So there's 4 ranges of fighting. There's kicking, there's punching, there's trapping, right? And then there's clinch. So now you're clinching into the person. Of course, from that, now you can do double leg, single leg, sambo wrestling, jiu-jitsu, all those good stuff as well. But I'm saying that there's certain steps to go by when it comes to that. Some fights might end up here in the trapping range, right? And you might need to eye jab. You might need to clear the arms to get through, right? So there's different ranges that you might end up in that you need to be comfortable in. And you need to be comfortable in all 4 ranges of fighting. Like I said, kicking, punching, trapping, clinch, and takedown. Takedown, of course, is supplemental. If those 4 things don't even work with somebody, right? You want to be able to have variations, just like in firearms. You want to be able to have variations, different ways of training. You need to be able to adapt to certain situations, right? You might need to draw the pistol out, right? Maybe you're here, you hit, back up, and now you've created distance to where now you can pull out your gun and get to work, depending on if the guy had a knife or something, right? You need to be able to adapt certain ways to be successful and have a higher rate of survivability, okay? Now, when we go to Wing Chun here, there's different variations, there's different techniques, right? I'm gonna try to teach you guys not just techniques, but principles to go by, right? In a lot of cases, especially street fights, things like that, right? 95% of the time it ends up in the clinch range, right? You're clinching with somebody. So in that sense, we need to understand those ranges a little bit more than from out here. Right? Out here, you're analyzing, you're understanding your opponent, you're seeing, oh, okay, this guy is a wrestler. Now I know where to hit him. Or, oh, this guy's a boxer, he's bobbing, he's weaving. Okay, growing shot, right? So you need to be able to understand who you're dealing with and analyze. That's the playing part, right? You're pot-shotting them, you're playing with them. This is where the fight really begins, is when now you've made full contact with the individual, and now you're weaving through, you're feeling the body, right? This is where the fight really begins. This is where elbows, knees, headbutts fly in. Kinomotai, the art of biting, gouging, things like that. So, when dealing with hand trapping, right? Your guys are looking at this like this is pretty dumb looking. Wooden arms here, right? But there's principles behind this, right? Nobody's gonna stand like this. Nobody's gonna be in this position where I can go, oh, 1, 2, 3, No, these are principle building skills, right? So that's why I have the Wing Chun dummy. Because what hand trapping is, it is being able to weave through the arms and be able to trap and hit. You wanna be able to trap and hit. Like for example, this is called lapsao, right? You come around, you pull, or you push. It's a principle of pulling and pushing, right guys? And everybody knows how to do pulls and pushes. right? You know how to push somebody, you know how to pull somebody. It's not that hard. But see, this is what I mean. When it comes to the martial arts itself, it's called technique. There's names for them. But in reality, these are principles to go by. A lap sao can be the traditional wrist grab, right? A lap sao can also be pushing somebody like this, grabbing the arm, right? You're manipulating the person's body, and that's what lap sao is. Pak saoing. So when we talk about pak sao is slap. It's a slap of the arm. Now, if we translate it to boxing, it's a catch, right? You're patting it. But for Wing Chun, you're slapping and hitting, right? Boo. Here, right? So if I did a full drill here, I go pak sao, pak sao, pak sao, pak sao, right? Speed it up, right? So you have pak sao and lap sao. Lap sao is grabbing and pulling or pushing. Pak sao is slapping the arm out of the way, right? You're slapping the arm out of the way. Bong sao. When we talk about bong sao, right? Bong sao is this. Is when somebody's throwing a punch, right? And I've noticed a lot of people, when they try to block that punch, it's a lift of the elbow, right? It's a lift of the elbow. And look, when I do that, it's an eye jab. Ooh, right? Even this way. And here, you see I went to lap sao because it just feels right. You have to feel it. So here, lap sao and hit, right? So these are just different variations, different techniques, if you want to call them that. But I want to be more principle oriented, and I want you guys to be more principle oriented, so that when things happen, it comes instinctual rather than, oh, I learned this in class. It's a technique I learned. You know, you need to feel, guys. You need to work with somebody that's real as well, because this dummy is static. It's a static dummy, right? So there's only so much variations I can do with this and work with it to make it work for me. But in most cases, it is better to drill with somebody that's resistive and that is actually giving you positive energy and feedback, right? So definitely grab a partner if you want to work on something like this. Definitely do it. It's very interesting. And I'll be going over a couple more things with this video as well in regards of hand trapping and the clinch / trapping range. So this is only a segment of the fighting game that we're talking about here, which is trapping and hitting. Let me just do a quick demonstration of what this might look like in real time. All right. Slap. Say a pull. And guys, I'm just feeling this. I'm just feeling where my arms end up. I'm not thinking. And that's where that comes in, right? I could do stuff like this, uppercuts, right? You go under, ooh, it's a sneaky uppercut. And from here, you can go elbow right across that nerve. Because guys, there's nerves all inside the arms. Our arms are one of the most vulnerable targets to ever go by. And this is what the Filipino martial arts always taught. There's 5 targets on the arm. There's one, which is the fist. So imagine if somebody's throwing a punch, you have your elbows up. That elbow, or that fist runs straight into that elbow. And you can imagine what type of damage that would do. A normal fist flies at around 50 miles per hour. So imagine full force, this guy's throwing a fist at you at 50 miles per hour into a quarter of an elbow. That's a quarter size of the elbow, just straight bone to bone. That's gonna shatter their whole freaking hand, their knuckles, everything. On top of it, we have target number 2, which is the top of the hand. If you hit yourself, go ahead. I want you guys to actually hit yourself. Go ahead and hit the top of your hand and keep going until you'll start feeling it. Imagine a full-blown hit or an elbow across somebody's top of their hand. That hand's disabled, man. Good luck trying to use it. And plus, psychologically, you can imagine what type of damage I would do to somebody. They don't know why they're hurting there, but now the arm is dead. Another one. So we had target 1, target 2. Target 3 is gonna be from the wrist bone all the way down inside of the arm right here. This is all nerves, guys. Boo, right? Imagine like a fish hook or a knife going into somebody's wrist or the inside of their forearm. Ah, right? Very damaging, extremely damaging, guys. And another note, these techniques or these principles is not to end a fight. These are ways to get to where you need to get in order to end a fight, right? So keep that in mind, guys. So now we have biceps. Bicep, right? So when it comes to the bicep, guys, this whole bicep, the bigger the bicep, the better I love it. Because, man, this is one big muscle and it is nothing but soft nerves, real soft. And it usually ends right on the bicep and it goes all the way underneath the bicep next to the tricep. So you do a solid hit right there. That person's arm is gonna be black and blue and just swollen like a watermelon, okay? And then, of course, you have the outside target right here. And this is what you call the funny bone area. So you're gonna be hitting right on side of the funny bone area. Boom! You hit. And there's your entry. There's that, it inflicts a certain amount of pain for a certain amount of time. And that second is all you need. That second is all you need to get into the clinch. Elbows, knees, headbutts, takedowns. Choke them out, finish the job. Or, if worse comes to worse, maybe the guy had a knife or something. There's no way for you to back up. You might have to do a nerve destruction. You might have to do something in order to get that for that split second. So then you can draw your gun and create distance if you have that option. This is why I really advocate for, open carry, concealed carry, even carrying a knife. You have to have some type of blade or weapon on you at all times, because you have no idea what is gonna happen to you today or tomorrow. You don't know who's gonna walk up to you. You might be on some serious drugs, who knows? So in some cases, guys, these are principles to understand and learn and to swim through, right? See it right there? Boom, I hit that target right on that funny bone with my elbow. And I come back hit. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? I know this video was completely out of the norm, but tell me what you guys think of it. I want to know your thoughts. If I should continue doing a mixture of firearms and hand-to-hand combat type of things, or should this channel just mainly stick with firearms? Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down in the comments. And guys, if you want to help out with the channel and everything, or if you want to show a little bit more support, I'll go ahead and leave my Cash App down below in the description. So anything really helps, guys. Everything that we get from donations and stuff, I use them strictly for the firearms. So ammo, maybe you guys want to see an optic, or test out a suppressor, or just things like that. Maybe some gear, but that would be greatly appreciated, guys, because stuff ain't cheap. Stuff's not cheap for sure. But thank you guys again. I really appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, all those wonderful things, and I will see you in the next episode.